Hi all, welcome back to Holybrooke Junction. It's February the 25th, Monday the 25th of Feb. I've spent 2 or 3 hours in the last day or two doing bits and pieces on the layout. I've got that far with the raised level there, the top level. And that train is actually running there now. Not a lot of room underneath there to put wooden support, so what I've done under there, I don't know if you can just see that, there's a metal bracket there, and then I just want to put another one just a bit further on to give that some support, but that's quite solid. That's quite solid there. I've done a little bit of work. I'm just doing the road bridge here and the actual ramp, if you want to call it a ramp, to down to the station level. Let me just move. So sorry about the mess again. It was nice and tidy, but I've been doing some work, like I say, just in the middle of painting these fences there, 2-3 coats of paint with this plastic coats project enamel there, giving that a couple of coats of that. But yeah, it is a bit of a mess here. Plus on the floor I've got all my bits and pieces there, my box of bits and what have you in there. Let me just move these out of the way. I'll just move these out of the way here. All these little cuttings and what have you here of paper and coffee stirrers, etc. I'm just doing this little area here as like a small network rail type yard. I've just moved this. I'm going to get a couple more of these kits, porta cabins. Need to get some more of this scene craft fencing to go along to about there, then have a gate, a couple of wagons. I've just put some rough ground down there, that is actually sand in PVA, some bit of loose ballast and a bit of green scatter. That's still wet at the moment. And then I want to make some mounds of sand and some ballast with a small tipper type wagon there and a small little JCB or some sort, some network rail vehicles, some signs up on the fence there. So I've just been doing that. I've just done this small little, I won't even call it a hill, it's just to get away from the flat surface, just built that up slightly. Some mod rock, some scatters, paint, static grass. There's 4 and 6 mil mixture of static grass there. Just doing this small car park here. I'm just having a go at making some sort of barrier there. Give that a spray up with grey primer and then some paint, yellow paint, as some sort of little barrier there, and to come down the side here. This will be a roadway here going to the, let me just move that out of the way. That'll be a roadway just going into there. And a walkway for maintenance staff into here. So just been doing that the last day or so. I've added a piece of extra ply onto this corner here just to bring this forward. I don't know if you remember, originally it went, let me get that in there, went to about there. So I've just added a small triangular piece of ply with what I've got left there. So I've just been doing that, and then just try my hand at this wall here. So oops, sorry about the shaky camera here, I'm trying to hold it, and this car pack stuff is all downloadable, printable from Wordsworth model rail, all free. I've just downloaded and printed a lot off. There's the road system there, all sorts of roundabouts and straights and some yellow markings, etc. Some brick paper there, and then some of the ashlar paper I've downloaded from scalemodels.com. Scale Scenes, I think there is it. Scale Scenes. Scale Scenes. Downloaded them, printed that off. What I've used to do the raised leveler. That one's finishing off, obviously. So a little bit of work done. So I wasn't sure what to do in this corner here. So like I say, a little small network railer type of yard. So, and then a road to come down here, down to behind the station area, up the ramp and over. I need to get some street lighting up here. I've left this blank here so I can access that and get some street lamps in there. I've added a colour light signal there. That needs wiring up, and the resin, the old stone wall there. I had one lamp, single lamp left there, so that's been drilled and placed in position. Some little relay boxes there. So yeah, that's coming along. It's coming along quite nicely there. I'm just going to put them mounds of sand and a mound of ballast there. I'm going to make it with a piece of polystyrene. Oh, sorry about that. Let me just get that. Got some polystyrene here, cut-offs. So I'll just make it out of that. Not as big as that. Cover it with some plaster cloth. Give it a bit of a paint. I think smear it in PVA. I think I was giving you a couple of ideas, and then cover it with sand to make it look like a big mound of sand and ballast. I'll put some old rails and sleepers along the wall there, and some signage on the gate, on the fences. So I'm just in the middle of putting this fence down here now, and then get the road markings here. So I'm just in the process of doing that now. These are more modern locos compared with the old Hornby type, old Ringfield motors, what have you. That's on them. I've had to put some magnets underneath the bogies there for them to get up this incline here with some coaches on it. I'll just stop that there. Right, this class 66 here hasn't got anything. It's the newer one, and she'll pull up here, or push up I should say, up here, this incline. No magnets or nothing, no problem whatsoever. Obviously the new more modern motors, the locos are heavier in weight, so find it a lot more torque on them. I've just bought an EWS class 37, that should be here in a few days. That's also DCC ready, and also oops, a bit of lovely sunlight coming in. The shed door's open here. Oops, sorry about the glare there. It's a beautiful day. So yeah, so I'm just busy trying to just do this little area here. Need to get some more ballast, get all that ballasted there. I'm not sure whether to make this area here as well a little bit I wouldn't know, what would you call that, a mound, a grass mound. just roughly here, and then build like a small little red retaining brick wall where the this little signal box here can sit in there. Just take the flatness off the whole thing, just to give it some height and what have you. So anyway, yeah, it's come along nicely anyway. So I'm just going to finish this area off here and then get rid of all this rubbish off here. Get rid of all this. So it's coming slowly. Coming slowly. There's some sand there. So it's coming along. Like I say as well, also I don't think I'll be featuring the BR blue as dominant in the layout as it is now. I'm going to put most of my locals into storage or onto a shelf for display. I'll keep a couple of them on the layout. I've got 2 new HSTs under the layout as well. A Virgin Trains one and First Northwestern, I think it is, HST. So I don't know whether I'll keep using this one here or not. I'm not sure yet. So there we are anyway. I just thought I'd put this short update on just to show you where I'm at here. But we are coming along quite nicely. I will be changing over to DCC soon. And I have to start the arduous task of soldering dropper wires in. I think it's every, I'm not sure, 30 inches or so apart. I'm not 100% sure, so I'll have to start that soon. But otherwise, just continuing some work along here. So just this area here. So this is coming along quite nicely now. There's a little car there. It doesn't belong on the layout. That's just placed there just for reference really. So and then I'm not too sure, this is just a little prototype with some coffee stirrers. I'm not sure if that'll stay there. That's probably a bit out of scale. That's too big, so I'll have to trim that wood down a bit on them stirrers. It looks a bit too bulky, a bit out of gauge there. So I've got a couple of more fence pieces to put in there, which are drying over on the other side there. So there we have it anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing me and watching my videos. It's not very professionally done. It's just done with a Samsung tablet. No fancy cameras or anything here. So sorry about all the shakiness. My finger goes over the lens every so often. But just thought I'd show you what I'm doing here. So thanks anyway, guys, and cheers. Take care now, everybody. Thanks very much. Cheers now.